Good morning. Hello, 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 hello. Mic checking, that's what I'm doing. Okay, so yesterday after I did my show, at the end of the night I get a lot of comments, right? And I always check through them and I go through them to see if there's anything, any division or any bad things in there. People saying bad things. How you doing? I'm a little bit early, so I just wanted to do this early. Okay, I have a guy that I've been teaching about the destroyer, and I'll show you a picture of it. It's the only picture like it in the world that I've ever seen. Not to say that anybody else doesn't have it. That's Shiva, the destroyer. Okay, so let's make this clear. You can see the face in it and everything. That's the Hindu god, right? My back still today is really bad. So yesterday I had a guy on calling me a liar and saying, "Oh, we see things differently." And he was sending me pictures of what he thinks is the destroyer, and I'm not here to destroy him. I'm just making it a point. So he showed me pictures of just a red sky and people saying things that's the destroyer, and I was like going, wow, little knowledge, but he was here challenging me, calling me a liar and all that stuff. You lied, bro. I was there beside you, and God told me who it was. It was an ex, and I'm not going to name his name. I know who he is. He calls himself David Wilkie on my YouTube now. He went and changed his name so he could down me. He said, "I'm not here to diss you, brother," and that's what he did. So, and he challenges what I have about the destroyer. Okay, so I have a lot of information on the destroyer. I've been studying it for years, and one guy said, "Oh, that's not what's causing all the problems on the earth right now. We have much worse than that, but that is what's causing almost all the problems on the earth right now, because the government and the military know, and the churches like the Pope and all that. They know that the destroyer's coming. So all this stuff that's happening on the earth is almost be all because of the destroyer, right? Because they know it's coming. So they're preparing for it, and they're trying to make us look down. The movie Look Up will tell you that. Leonardo DiCaprio made the movie Look Up. Okay. So they don't want us looking up. They don't want us watching this thing that's coming. And that's the only picture like that in the world, and I'm not bragging about it. And one person said, that's not the problem. But yes, it is. And that's why they're having us diverted looking everywhere else, except for what the problem is. Okay. So I came on a little bit early to explain that. And then one person, God discerned to me and told me who he was. The Spirit told me. Like, that's how you can change your name, but if you're talking the same thing, God will discern for us certain things. How did he just? Why did he discern that for me? So we're gonna go into Baruch today. Baruch. Why did he discern that to me? Because the guy's attacking me left, right, and center, saying, "Oh, we should join. We should all be together." But yet you lied, and you know it. And I was right there for it. And the Lord told me that's uh, a guy that was on my channel for many years, questioning what I'm showing them with the destroyer, saying that my views of it are different than his. Yet I've had the views of it, pictures of it, and 8 dreams of it. He said, "Well, I had a dream of it." I've had 8, and it's not about I've had more and this and that. And someone said, "Oh, you're not giving us enough information on what the destroyer is." And I did it all out of the Bible yesterday. The iron furnace, the furnace of iron, the destroyer, Shiva. It's everything that's coming back down on us. It's not a planet. It's where God holds all the evil that people do, all the evil. Because remember when it says, uh, as on earth as in heaven. So everything that's loosed here and you haven't repented for it, he saves it up for the end and then sends it back on us. It's evil that's coming down, okay? That God is sending back down on people. I recompense your recompense on your head. Okay, so I'm expecting everybody around 10. So I come on early to explain that, and then this guy, he left my channel again. All he wants to do is cause division in the channel. That's what some people do. And it's okay, and I pray for him, and I hope he finds his way. But enough of coming into my channel as different names, calls me a liar, but yet he shows himself as different names. He changes his name so he can attack me. Listen, Satan is under, and it's not him. It's Satan is under full attack of me because I'm walking in obedience. Okay, it really happens to me when I really start walking in obedience. I get fully attacked. So even by the people, one person said that's not enough information about the destroyer, but I gave all the information about it yesterday. It wasn't just about that. It was about to show people the truth of what's coming, not Planet X, okay? So I've never seen anybody have the picture that has a demon manifesting on it, Shiva. Okay. Now, Mike from around the world even said that's Shiva the Destroyer when I showed him 5 years ago. So, and then he goes, well, you're right. We do need to get together. Mm, We do need to come together. That's causing division. Okay. All I did was go out. The Lord told me, teach the destroyer again. I do believe I did about 20 teachings on the destroyer. Okay. And even Mike's done some teaching on the destroyer. I did some Mike from around the world, and the destroyer, and me explaining it, giving it to the people. Anyways, then you got these guys challenging you, saying that your teaching's wrong. Um, Not with the destroyer. The Lord has given me the full meaning and the full understanding of what the destroyer is, what is coming. Okay, 8 dreams of it. I've seen it in 8 times in my dreams. And every time it's the same thing. It's a red ball. It's a big red sphere. It's not a planet. Okay, it's what the evil comes from. And so to be challenged on it and say you're not giving enough information, what more? I took all my information out of the Bible, what it is. Today I'm giving some more on it. And I need to get over that subject because I was taught yesterday. Okay. I don't need to keep rehashing my teachings. And if you don't believe, if you, this isn't my teaching, sorry. And if you don't believe what I'm giving you, then why are you on my channel? Why are you fighting against it, saying that's not it? This is it. What's the point of that? I just don't get people, man. And it's not them, it's the evils that are in them. So, like I said, I need to just leave it. All right. So it's a Baroque teaching today. I'm moving on. You know, like I said, if people go up against me, all I do is look at my YouTube and I can see people going up against the teaching of the destroyer. And how can you go and say I'm a liar and yet I have all these pictures and videos of it? Anyways, it's all good. I lost 4 people yesterday. I watched that too because I care about the people that are on my channel. I lost 4 people yesterday. off of my channel. So I don't know what's going on, but my YouTube, everything's hacked on mine. My phone's hacked, my iPad's hacked. I do believe my computer's been hacked. And I believe everybody's is, right? They're getting ready to take away everything that we do with the phones, the computers, and everything else. Okay. Then the one person said, well, we got too much to worry about by the effects on this earth right now. And not that's not it's not the destroyer's effects aren't happening. Yes, thus they are. Everything almost that's going on right now is because of what's coming here. Okay. They're preparing us for what's coming here, the darkness that's coming. They know what's coming. So they're doing all this other stuff to divert us, to have us not looking up, to have us looking down. So not watching what's coming from the heavens. They don't want us looking up. So all this, everything to the vax, and I don't like to even talk about it. Everything that's going on, I do believe, is because of the destroyer. Okay. I'm not giving false information. Some people come on and say you're giving false information about it. You tell me when you have all the videos and the pictures and the dreams from God that I have, and you're challenging me, that's fine. Okay. We all are subject to our own opinions, right? But that's wrong. Okay. The effects are all because of it. I got my glasses. We left off in Baroque. That's where I'm leaving off now. So the work that I do for the Lord, I keep that in secret. I don't go around saying, "Oh, I got to go read the Bible. I got to be Holy Spirit filled. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go pray and read and listen to a sermon." I don't brag about that stuff. I just naturally do it. Same with teaching. I'm not bragging about teaching. I love to do it. It's my job. So I don't need to go around. These fake Christians do that. Well, I need to get spirit filled. I need to read my Bible. They go and just tell everybody that they're doing all God's business. The fake teachers do that. Okay, we don't. The only reason why I teach to read your Bible and all that other stuff because it's the truth and because we love to do it. I didn't even have time this morning to read my Bible because I'm devoted to the church that God built for us. It's not just my church. So it's like, wow, I can just see so much. God gives me so much discernment. Discernment is truth, right? So he lets me see even the Christians that say they're Christians. Oh, I did a deliverance ministry today. I got to go and read my Bible. I got to go and do this. Why do you tell other people that? You know, just do it. You you're boasting on something that you don't need to boast on. That's vain. You're boasting on something that's I don't know. I just don't get it. So the Lord shows you quite a bit when you get discernment and you start getting closer to him and he gives you more discernment. He lets you see quite a bit. Like that guy on my channel used to be my friend. We used to talk on on my messenger. He showed me that this is this guy. He showed me that the problems that people have, like boasting on you're a Christian and you need to read the Bible and you're going to go and do this. Like someone told my wife yesterday, "Oh, I need to go be spirit filled and read my Bible and listen to a sermon." You know, no, man, you don't need to go and spread that around like that and tell everybody you're a Christian when behind the scenes all you're doing is attacking everybody. And I pray for that person. I mean, it's not them that's doing it. It's what's inside of them that's doing it. And we need to pray for these people. There's so many ways that Satan tries to get to you. Okay. So the Apocalypse of Baroque. I've got all these books. I got lots of books to be teaching on, right? So, and now do not draw near to me for a few days, nor seek me until I come. Let me see what that. I need to go over it again. Okay, therefore we should not be distressed so much. Wow, God's even talking me through this Baroque here. So therefore we should not be distressed so much over the evil which hath now come over that which is still to be, for they shall be greater trial than these in the tribulations when the mighty one shall renew his creation at the end of great tribulation. Okay, so now that just told me something. Even through this book, God's talking to me. Okay, he told me don't be distressed over the evil of the people that think they're Christians and they're not. I've seen them in my channel. Okay, I've dealt with them. They go up against everything I teach. Listen, the destroyer is causing everything on almost everything on this earth. There's a movie called Don't Look Up with Leonardo. They don't want you looking up. They want you looking at all the things wrong on this earth and blaming it on something that it isn't. But I'm telling you right now, most everything that's happening on this earth is because they're preparing for what's coming. The destroyer. That's what they've been watching it. Listen, they have telescopes. They've been watching it. Okay. It doesn't move like any celestial being moves. Okay. Jesus said, I rule you with a rod of iron. What is that? That the destroyer delivers us. And it's the iron furnace, the furnace of iron. He uses that. And he's used it all the way in the past. And this next passing of the destroyer is the last passing of it and the worst it's ever going to be because it's saved up all the evil from the last time it passed. And it's getting ready to pour that out on us like rain. The evil will fall from the sky like rain. And Brooks explains that. And then okay, so one more thing to make it straight. The Bible does say some of these false teachers, the sheep, will be trampled, the fake sheep. So I was right, and the guy said I was a liar. He said, you said that everyone that calls out rapture is gonna die. No, I didn't. Even yesterday I made that clear. Some of them will be saved, they will be corrected and saved. But lots of the sheep, I believe 70% of who say they're Christian aren't. Now, am I right? I don't know. It could be 50 or 60. But because they're not following, remember, Jesus said, my sheep hear my voice, and a stranger you won't follow. Because they're not being corrected by anything. If you're not being corrected of these false teachings by man, then God will give you correction. If you're not being corrected by God, then okay. So God gives me the ability to see a lot of the fake sheep, not to attack them, to try to help them, try to reprove them of what they're wrong in. I've done that all I can. Now the Lord's told me to be quiet. His turn to speak because the same thing with Jeremiah. He was here to teach them. That's wrong. That's fake teaching. That's the teachings of the doctrines of devils. So he sends those spirits here to do that again before he comes back. He does nothing, but he does tells the prophets, the teachers, and the messengers first. Okay, if they don't listen, then they get destroyed. So it shows that nobody's here in my church today. They said they were going to meet. I got up early so that I could teach, but that's okay. So now I do draw near to me in the few days, nor seek me until I come to you. And it came to pass when I had spoken to them all these words that I, Baruch, went my way. And when the people saw me setting out, they lifted up their voice and lamented and said, whither departest thou from us, Baruch, and forsake us the father whose forsake his orphan child, and departeth from them. Are these the commands which they companion Jeremiah the prophet commanded thee, and said unto thee, Look to the people till I go and make ready the rest of the brethren in Babylon, against whom have gone forth the sentence that they should be led into captivity. And now, if thou also forsake us, if were good for us all to die before thee, and then thou shouldest withdraw from us. Well, yeah, I mean, like you say, when you're teaching people and you're doing everything you can to help them, and they're sitting there saying you're wrong and I'm right, I move on from that and I erase that from the comments in my stuff because I don't want to cause division. Okay, and and I wasn't causing division by showing someone was a fake pastor yesterday. Proof of it, we're supposed to. Paul did that. Paul talked about it in the Corinthians. When they have such a big sheepfold, and when they keep telling the same lie over and over and over and over, and when they don't learn from reproof and they don't take reproof from people, they're unteachable. What is the spirit in them when they teach on science, NASA, and all that? That's an erred spirit. I'm not saying all of them are going to get killed and go to hell. That's not what I'm here to do. I'm not here to sentence people to hell. If anything, I'll sentence my body to hell, to me to hell, for what I've done. I don't have a right to judge them, but to reprove because they're teaching so many people the wrong teachings. I have one in here that said this is the destroyer. He showed me a picture of the sky. This is the destroyer. He showed me a picture of someone on CBC on a newscast. That's not the destroyer. Like people being given over to a delusion. Then he called me a liar, yet he was the one smoking pot. You see, they look for a scapegoat, and it doesn't even make sense why they attack their teacher. I don't attack Mike from around the world. I believe almost everything that he teaches, and I don't go up against him. Okay. I've said some things that I don't agree with on him. I'm just being honest. And if I lied, I would have said I lied right in front of everybody. Okay. I'm that humble of a person. And he blocked me, this guy on my, that used to be on here. He blocked me. And then I said, Why'd you block me, brother? I thought you said you'd, you would never leave me or forsake me, because that's what I told him. I said, no matter what your problems are, I wasn't here judging you for smoking marijuana. You slipped. It's all good. I believe and have faith in you. Have a Merry Christmas. I love you, brother. And I'll never leave or forsake you. And he said that. And boom, the next day he blocked me from everything. I tried to get a hold of him on my other account, and he blocked that too. As meanwhile, he made a different name and he was coming on here and he was saying, Well, I don't mean to go against you, brother, but what you lied and I was there for it. And I'm like, I didn't lie. The Bible does say a lot of the sheep get stampled, okay, because they're not hearing the voice of Jesus. They don't know him. How do you get to know Jesus? Read his words, supplicate with him, pray to him. You sup with him and he'll sup with you. That's how it works, right? So, anyways, and I'm just showing you how the devil works. He slides in when you're being obedient. He's trying everything. He even works through the people and they don't even know it. So that person doesn't know it. Okay. They think they have all the answers. Listen, if you have pictures and video of the destroyer and 8 dreams, and I'm not saying, hey, I know more than you, but the Lord's given me full view of what the destroyer is. And people are complaining that's not enough. I spent 3 hours yesterday doing that show on it and the fake teaching and what we don't need to listen to try to help try to help the people in my YouTube. I'm not doing it to attack anybody. I'm trying to show people the truth. Isn't that what Jesus is? The way, the truth, and the life? Okay, so Baruch Lamnant, he cried. And I answered and I said unto them, to the people, far be it from me to forsake you and to withdraw from you. He even's talking about, wow, the Lord just even works through this. Exactly what I'm talking about. I didn't pre-read anything. I don't do that. I read as I'm going along. So before, when I usually do a speech, before I do my show, the Lord looks out for his word to perform it right here. So for be it far be it from me to forsake you or to withdraw from you. So that's what this person did to me. Forsake me and withdraw from me. I don't do that to you guys. I'm not gonna do that to you guys. How you doing, brother? I'm not gonna forsake you or leave you. One of my friends on here started smoking dope, and he said I didn't want to talk to you because I felt bad because I smoked weed. And I'm like, don't. I'm not looking at you for what you did wrong. I'm looking on trying to help you fix it. I can't help you. I can't change it in you. But if I can do any service to you to help you to stop doing that, I will. I'm not here judging you. I fell many times as a Christian. Okay, many times. But it's not falling because you're still following the Lord. It's stumbling. If you backslide, then you've taken on your old man fully. And you've done you're going back to all your own sins and you backslide. Some people backslide fully, but they still come back to the Lord. That's called the threshing floor. Okay? So I don't leave you guys or forsake you anyways either. And we shouldn't do that to each other. Like if you seen my comments about the destroyer yesterday, they were absolutely attacking me. So I'm not here to attack them back. All I did was erase it and said I erased those comments, right? Yes, I know you are Seven Thunders. You have lots of knowledge, okay? And that's given to you from God. The same with me and my destroyer. Why are you coming on my channel and saying that's not enough information when I did all about the destroyer out of the Bible yesterday? Eh, One person said, well, we don't need to worry about the destroyer's effects yet. We need to worry what's going on here. Everything that's going on in this world, most of it all, it's because of the destroyers coming, and they know that. So they're preparing us. They're preparing us in a bad way. So withdraw from you, but I will only go unto the Holy of Holies to inquire of the Mighty One concerning you and concerning Zion. And if some respect I should receive more illumination. I didn't say you said that. No, I didn't say you said any of that. Okay. You didn't even leave a comment in there. So I'm not going against anybody here. That's not what I'm doing. You must be misunderstanding something, Thunders. This is not even to do with you, okay? This is has nothing to do with you. You've never come in here and said comments against me, okay? It's okay. Don't worry about it. So, and I forgive people before they attack me. I had someone attack me with 3 pages of "You're Satan, your fruit is no good," all this other stuff. And all I said at the end of it is, it's okay. I forgave that person before. The Lord's actually having me being attacked by many people so that I can better myself and be strengthened and not let it bother me. And yesterday, all those things that people were saying didn't bother me. It was just false, right? False accusing of the brethren. And nobody realizes the work that I do. To get all that information of the destroyer, to be where I'm at with all the information of the destroyer took 5 years of dreams and studying it, okay? And pictures and videos of it. Nobody has the picture of Shiva manifesting. That proves that that is the destroyer because Shiva is the destroyer. Well, we have differences. The guy shows me pictures of nothing in the sky. That's the destroyer. I had a dream about it. You got to test what you're getting a dream from, okay? So the mighty one concerning you and Zion, in some of the respect I should receive more illumination, more light. Okay. So we do everything to get more light in us, to take out the darkness in us, right? Yes, and well, everything that we go through, God uses evil for good. He uses the evil on us. And we see the evil and the truth of it, and we're like, wow, can't be going back and attacking. You can't put out fire with gasoline. It says it straight in the Bible. You can't use evil for evil because all it's going to create is more evil. So, and after these things, I'll return to you. And I, Baruch, went to the holy place and sat down upon the ruins and wept and said, oh, that my eyes were springs. He was crying hardcore. And I was last night again, too, because it's just one after another, one after another. And I cry out for the people as well. Okay. And ye, my eyelids in a fountain of tears. For how shall I lament for Zion, and how should I mourn for Jerusalem? For in that place where I am now prostrate, the high priest of old offered holy sacrifices, and placed thereon incense of fragrant odors. Okay, sorry. But now our glory hath been made unto dust, and the desire of our soul into sand. The vision of the forest. And when I had saw these things, I fell asleep there, and I saw a vision in the night, and lo, a forest of trees planted. I had the same vision when I left my body. I was in a forest of trees, and something told me to look up, and I saw a band of angels coming after me, and one of them was the Virgin Mary. How did I know that was the Virgin Mary? How was that possible? I knew that was her because she's my sister. So, and lo, the forest of the trees planted on the plain and lofty rugged rocks, mountains surrounded it. And that's what I saw. I saw a mountain on this side and a mountain on that side, and I was going into the forest. That's crazy. I didn't even, I had like almost the same dream as Baruch. And that the forest occupied much space, and lo, over against it rose a vine from underneath, which went forth of the fountain peacefully. So the vine, what's the vine? Us. Now I didn't see this of it. Okay, I'll only explain if I give a dream. I don't add to it or take away from it. Also, in that dream, after I saw Mary, that forest and everything disappeared, and there was a beautiful park, and I knew I had to get to this. There was a bench in that park, and I saw the light come down, and I saw something at that bench. And this is a dream right out of the Bible. And I rushed to it, and there was a bunch of people crowding. I knew it was Jesus, and I fought through the crowd just to touch the hue of his garment. And that was it, the end of the dream. I looked him in the face. I did never see his eyes or his face. I have seen his face, but he changes it in other dreams. Okay. I have seen his face, but not his true face. But that was Jesus. And there's a dream of the girl that was vexed, and she was vexed. Her blood was vexed for I don't remember how many years, and she had to fight through the crowd to touch the hue of his garment. And Jesus said, "Who took the virtue out of me?" He knew that she touched his garment. So, and arose a vine from underneath, went forth the fountain peacefully. Now the fountain came to the forest and was stirred into great waves, and those waves submerged that forest, and suddenly they rooted out the greater part of the forest. Rooted out. What's he rooting out? What's rooting out in the forest? The trees? That's us. We are the trees in the Bible. It talks about the trees. And God says, any tree that I didn't plant gets hewn down. Like I said, when you start off as a seed, you grow to the vine and you're grafted in to just a part of the tree, and then you grow into a tree where your flock will come sit on. So, and overthrew the mountains which were round about it, and the height of the forest began to be made low, and the top of the mountains was made low. That's what he's doing. It's what he's going to do. The mountains, the trees, and the fountains, the waters turned into big waters. So the mountains are the big ones that are. Thank you too. Thank you so much. That's, you know, and we need one speaking the truth, not Planet X. There's no such thing. Is there anything in the Bible that says Planet X? Can one of you two answer me that? Have you ever seen that in the Bible? I'm teaching against it because it's a wrong teaching, and the false teachers that are teaching it know it. Decoded. So Planet X is in the Bible? That's the question I'm asking. No, it's not. It's the destroyer. Oh, that's your name. So I asked a question: is Planet X in the Bible? Does it say Planet X in the Bible? Seven wonders, seven thunders. Sorry. Have you ever read it? I've read the Bible a couple times and listened to it about 30 times, and I've read the New Testament about 8 or 9 times because I love the New Testament. The Old Testament I've only read twice fully. Yeah, no, exactly. There's no Planet X in the Bible. It's called the Destroyer. If you watched my video yesterday on the destroyer, that'll show you. It almost gives you full explanation of it. I have pictures and videos of it. I need to just hold on. We're doing Baroque today. I got all these books: Jasher, Maccabees yesterday. So, and I already did a teaching on Enoch. These books are of God. I'm telling you. And you found Planet X in it? Yeah. And it speaks of God, man. I've had some dreams that are even here. No, Baruch. I have the book of Jubilees. You have to be careful who you buy it from, too, right? So, who is the author of it, right? The book of Jasher, R.H. Charles. He's the one that gives the proper, the Jubilees. Oh, there it is. R.H. Charles, the book of Jubilees. So I'll be teaching. Will be. I'm just a. Yeah. Can I explain what wormwood is in the Bible? So a lot of people think it is. It says it's like a star. I have to go. Like I'm trying to teach this book, but a lot of people don't understand wormwood. It's an angel. It's like a star. What is a star? A star is a messenger. A star is an angel. And it makes people inside bitter as well. And when it says it hits the waters, what are we? Many waters, to make many waters bitter. So, what is happening now to the people on this earth? They're waxing cold. They're getting bitter. So, but it does make the oceans and the rivers bitter too, but it doesn't impact us. Where does it say that it impact us? Okay. Yeah, and that's why I got them all, right? For us. Hey, have you heard of this one? The Book of Adam and Eve. This is my next one, man. This one's a mind-blowing book. And Enoch all speaks of God in it, and Baruch all speaks of God. It says it the same way almost as the Bible. Okay, I'm not here to argue, right? I'm gonna just show you. And Mike teaches us the same way. All the scripture in the KJV about wormwood. Okay, so I have 9 instances of it here. This is what we do. We work together, right? Yeah, no argument, right? We work together. We're a team. We don't cause division, right? So Deuteronomy 29:18. And if someone disagrees, what we do is we work it out together. And if you haven't come by the understanding of it at the end of it, then I don't know what to do, right? Then I move on, right? Okay, so Deuteronomy 20:19. Lest there should be among you man or woman, family or tribe, whose heart turneth away on the day of the Lord, or go into serve other gods of the nations, lest there should be among you a root that beareth gall and wormwood. Wow, that says it all. It's the many waters that it hits onto. Deuteronomy 29:18, man. It's hard to read. A lot of people don't know how to teach what wormwood is. They say it's a planet-like thing. It's like a star. Doesn't say it is a star that comes down and impacts the earth and causes the whole earth to blow up. That's not what it is. People have that wrong, and I'm sorry. I'm not trying to go against anybody. So why did these people get wormwood? Because they're bitter inside. You get it? It's spiritual. It also affects the red, the sea and the ocean, so they can't be drinkable. So because of the fountains coming out of the ground, it poisons the waters, right? Yeah, sure. So we're doing this wormwood, Proverbs 5:4. But her end is bitter as wormwood. Do you get it? Her end is bitter as wormwood, sharp as a two-edged sword. So Jeremiah 9:15, there thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, behold, I will feed them, even this people, with wormwood. So what is wormwood? Doesn't that make you think? There you go. It was pretty easy. I only used a couple of them. It's it's already having its effect on this earth. Look at the people. Their love is waxing cold. So Jeremiah 23:15. Therefore thus saith the Lord of hosts concerning the prophets, behold, I will feed them with wormwood, with bitterness. Why? Because they're bitter. Oh, I hate this, I hate that, this is that, and that's that, and they grump all day. Do you know why I was wormwood? I'd get home from work and all I did was complain. So what happens when all you're doing is complaining is he's going to put you worse. You're digging yourself a grave. You're going to go complaining more and more and more and more. You're going to get more and more and more bitter. He pulled me out of that. Wow, some people really don't know how to teach wormwood, do they? He wasn't meant to teach until this time, by the way, till the end times. So now you see the fake teachers say wormwood's going to impact the earth. You know what else I said? Oh, that's the effects of Planet X. There is no Planet X. That's vain. You see, you saw that pretty quick, didn't you, Seven Thunders? Am I lying? Am I here teaching people wrong? Why does the Lord use me? Why does he use a babe, a fool, a weak person to make me strong? He looks out to the word to perform it. If people want to challenge me, go ahead and challenge me. That's fine. You're going to get a reply back of, "Eh." I'll erase the challenge. Okay? I'm not here to challenge each other. There you go. There you go, Seven Thunders. You see how easy that is? Now you see the wrong teaching of it. For so many years, they say it's going to impact us. And I don't like doing this. Paul Begley teaches wormwood wrong. That is another wrong teaching. He's got so many that you're supposed to speak out against it to try to help save the people. I don't do it to attack him or go against him. I love him. I when I first came to God, he was the first one on YouTube that I listened to. But I seen so many God showed me the path early, so many false teachings. We're not to encourage that, but we're not to want hell and fire to come on the guy, okay? So Lamentations, he hath filled me with bitterness, and he hath made me drunken with wormwood. So does that, when it says it impacts the oceans and the waters, what are we? We're the waters and the rivers. So what is the rivers? The rivers is what Jesus feeds us, his river life of water that always continuously runs. And the trees beside it. What the river does is feed us spiritually. It's what makes the waters here on this earth bitter is the volcanoes and the ash. That's a type of woodworm or wormwood because it makes it bitter. Now you see, physical and spiritual. It's not a planet that, or even a stone that comes in and hits the water in the rivers. Okay? It doesn't hit the earth anywhere. The waters is us. The many waters. What are the many waters, Seven Thunders? It's numerous as the sand. What is that? What do those mean? Oh man, people have so wrong, and I'm not you guys have the wrong interpretation of it. Look at Seven Thunders, how quick you picked up on that. That was pretty quick. I didn't have to go on with the rest of it. I don't have to go on with the rest of it because you picked up on it pretty quick. That's right. It's a different way of saying I'm giving you evil for evil, right? It's a different way of saying their love waxed cold, their iniquity grew. Yeah, throughout the earth, through the people. What are the waters? Many waters. We are as numerous as the sand. That's a way of saying my people. The trees, the seeds of a way of saying people. See, you get those right, and you're going to get a lot further in the Bible, and you're going to get a lot more understanding for something simple. Okay, Wormwood is simple, and these people say, "Oh, it's going to impact the earth." It already has. Wormwood's been here for a long time. The people that are bitter are impacted with it, and that's what the Bible says. So Amos 5:7. Ye who turn to judgment to wormwood and leave off righteousness in the earth. You got it exactly right. Unrighteousness gets you bitter. Wow, that's crazy. Revelation. And the name of the star is called Wormwood. What's a star? What's a star? This is the last one. What this is the one that I really wanted to tell you because it puts it together all in a perspective that if you can't see it, well, then I don't know what else to do. Seven Thunders picked it up after two. Okay. She has discernment. Yes, you can carnally mindly read the Bible with this. It doesn't work. And God's people won't. Why do you think the first time I read my Bible, every word was read it? God proved that to me. And the last time I was sometimes out of teaching Enoch, the words turned red. What does that mean? Do you understand what that means? I bet you Seven Thunders does. She just said it. She answered the question for me. She gave the answer, and I gave the question. That's it. See? We work together, don't we? I love you guys, man. That's how you're supposed to do it. Not supposed to argue, "Well, this is what it is and that's what it is." No, it says search the scripture. Let somebody that has understanding of it show it to you. The wisdom. The wisdom. What's the wisdom given to me by Jesus Christ, not me? I take no glory for it. He's using this vessel. Okay, so this is the last one, and then we'll get into Baroque. This is what they say is going to impact the earth. Okay, so Revelations 8:11. And the name of the star is called Wormwood. What is a star? God says, I name the stars. It's a messenger, it's an angel, it's you. You're an angel put into a demon. That's basically why your spirit fights your flesh daily. Okay, let's move on. And the name of the star is called Wormwood. So let's get this straight. The name of the angel is called Wormwood. I'm not changing the words, I'm just putting what God says a star is. And the third part of the waters became wormwood. A third part. What does he take? A third part of the earth. The people, the waters, many waters. People got that so wrong. Exactly. You got it, Seven Thunders, man. You learnt about wormwood today, didn't you? Two, you discerned it. Your spirit discerned it so quickly that I didn't even have to go here. So a star, God says, I named the stars. Well, why would he name a piece of junk floating in space? He does nothing in vain. So, what is a star? It's a messenger. What are you? You're a messenger. A star is an angel. So, that is an angel doing that. When a person gives himself over to lasciviousness, evil, and all that stuff, he becomes bitter as wormwood. His spirit. This is all spiritual. And they teach that it's going to impact the earth. Come on, dude. If wormwood was impacting the earth in the Old Testament, it's been here already. You see the false teachers like this is why God has me here. This is one of the reasons why I'm here. Why would he give someone a reprover of false teaching? Jeremiah and Baruch was his buddy. Okay, so and the third part of the waters became bitter, became wormwood, and many of the men died of the waters because they were made, the person was made bitter. They remember you build your own bed, you sow your own seed, you cover your own self, you dig your own pit and put the cap over top of it. This is part of what that's saying. They got so bitter inside that their death angel came and took them away in an hour they knew not because they weren't watching. You understand? It's so easy. I can't even put that together without the Lord, right? That's right. We are of this earth because we are made, all of our fragments in this body are made of space and earth, but we are not on it. I store my treasure in heaven. This is not my treasure here. What's your treasure in heaven? Your new glorified body that Jesus says, I go to the right hand of my Father and I make you. Your house, your mansion has many rooms in it. People don't know how to teach that stuff. These churches do not even understand what I just taught you guys. It all goes together. The whole Bible goes together like a puzzle. And it's like this: God put all the pages in, He mixed them up, like shuffled them up, and He threw them in, except for maybe Revelations. But even Revelations is in. If you don't know the new, you don't know the old. So you get it? He just stuffed it all in and said, my people will figure this out because of their spiritual discernment. I seen that out of you, Seven Thunders. I know what you are of. Okay. So quite wild. God shows me what people are of, not to cast them down, to help them. If it doesn't help them, then they shall leave this room. And that's what's happening to some people. They don't want to hear the truth. Like Jesus says, how do I tell you the truth of the heavens when you don't understand the ones? Well, it says it backwards. I can't tell you the things of the earth, let alone tell you the truth of the heavens. Okay. So the vision of the forest. I had this dream of the forest, right? So I'm so glad to see some are here. Some are some are gonna leave my room because they have itchy ears. They're not gonna want to stay here because they don't want the full truth. Sorry, not the full truth, because I no man on earth can teach the full truth. I digress. You see, man, I'm humbled myself. Mike has some wrong teachings, but that doesn't. You know what? I've had four. Yesterday, I had a dream of him when I fell asleep. God shows me He is my teacher. I am not against him, and I'm not going up against him. He has a couple wrong teachings. But is it wrong? Or has it not happened yet? Or is it fake? Yes, the truth will set you free. Who and when a man is free, what is he? He's free indeed. We're getting freed with the destroyer really soon. We're slowly being freed. He's pulling the chains off. He's rooting it out of us right now. We're becoming free. We're not free yet because we're still here in this. lugging around bolt that we carry around that has sores, back is sore, I'm sick 1 week. You know when it says you come out from a calamity outside, you put your arm on the door and you get bit by a snake? That's literally how tribulation is. You get out of one and you go into another and you go into another. That's what great tribulation means. To another, to another, to another. It's not going to stop until we've been purged fully. It's purging us. It's setting us free. So now the fountain came, and the forest was stirred into great waves, and those waves submerged the forest, and suddenly they rooted out the greater part of the forest. They rooted out the greater part of the sheep. You understand? We're the trees. They're getting flooded and they're being rooted out. That's the same thing as the ones that say they're Christians and aren't. The goat, the sheep, the wheat, the tare. That's the same thing. Yeah. And we can't really. We live in it. We sin daily. So yesterday when I said don't pray for yourself, well, you got to pray for yourself some. I wasn't meaning not ever, but don't keep praying the same prayer, is what I'm trying to explain. Because he's heard you. So, greater part of the forest and overthrew all the mountains what's round about it. Everything that's controlling it. The mountains. What are the mountains? Let me show you what the mountains mean. The greater mountains. Spiritually. Let me show you this. I always back it up with word. What does the greater mountains mean in the KJV Bible? Okay, this one ain't explaining it. Okay, that one's not explaining it the way I want. It's our inhabitants, our place, our city, our cities, are on the mountains. That's what that's saying. But I digress. I don't. Man, my phone is so hacked. It's not even funny, man. It won't stop. It's annoying. Let me try this again. Spiritually, what does mountains mean in the Bible? Spiritually, KJV. I think this is the one I was looking for. So, so life is serious of the mountains and valleys. Each day brings the experience of some days of are rife with struggles, and some plentiful of joy, and the other mixture of both. Just as the earth isn't just as the globe or flat land, life so ups and downs. The great mountains that we are to climb. Mountains which were round about it. See, we go up and down. We climb, tribulation. We go down where it's easy for a while. Then we climb. And the great mountains, we climb, 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 climb. Okay? Spiritually, our ups and downs. I forgot a little bit about what it meant. so which were round about it. And the height of the forest began to be made low, and the top of the mountains was made low, and the fountain prevailed greatly. What's the fountain? That's the water that Jesus gives us. The fountain took it all over. What's he going to do? He's ruling us with the rod of iron. He's taken back his earth. All the evil is being taken off this earth. So the fountains prevailed greatly, so that it left nothing that great forest save one cedar only. Holy smokes. We are considered the trees, the cedar. Any tree God says that I have them planted will be hewn down. Out of the whole entire forest, one was left. What does that tell you? 70 or 80% of the Christians aren't going to make it. Lord, Lord, many say, Lord, Lord. And he'll say, get away from me. I never knew you. He who work lawless or he who work iniquity. Ah, so much that these churches will not teach you for years. They don't even know what this stuff means. So the whole forest was rooted up. So what does it say? Let's go to Enoch 1. That's why I like having these books. It said Jesus says this exact same thing too. So let me stop here. I'm on 6 on here, so I have to remember that. See, I'm referring to books of God. Okay, so Enoch 1, the words of the blessing of Enoch were with him, bless the elect and the righteousness who will be living in the days of tribulations. This was made for the time we live in. Remember, Daniel was told to shut up the books for the time. You get it? How the Bible is? There could be something that's happening now that was written in the Old Testament. If you don't know the new, you don't know the old. That's why they're both very important. And when all the wicked and godless are to be removed. That just said the same things. We're all we're all going to be rooted out. And there was one cedar left. That goes to tell you, I believe one out of every 20 Christians, if that, make it, the remnant, right? And we're not to know who is or to judge who is to make it to hell, because that's Raka. And we don't wish Raka upon anybody else. So I can go from one book to another, to my phone, to the Bible. That's the Lord doing that, not me. So, and He wants me to do that, to refer so that we're understanding. Hold on, my back is really sore. I think I need to put a pillow behind it or something, right? See, I just got through 2 sicknesses and now I got back problems. Huh. Go figure. Go from one to the next. So, oh, that's much better. I'll be able to stick back now. Also, when he had cast it down, he had destroyed and rooted out the greater part of the forest, almost all the forest, and one cedar was left. Wow. So, the people that are doing all this stuff in my channel, I pray for you. That's all I can do, right? What's this? My phone is so hacked. I opened something I shouldn't have, and they tricked me. So, so that nothing was left on it, nor could its place be recognized. Then that the vine began to come with the fountain in the peace and the great tranquility, and it came into the place which was not far from the cedar. And they brought the cedar which had been cast down to it. And I beheld, and lo, that vine opened its mouth and spake. That vine opened its mouth and spake. Does Does a vine on a tree open a mouth and speak? No, no tree is going to speak to you. So the vine, we're grafted into the vine. This is biblical. This is biblical. How am I understanding it? Because I've been given that by the Lord. And lo, that vine opened its mouth and spake and said to the cedar, how is a vine? That's the little one. Remember, there's 3 stages. I don't know how many, okay, but I'm just saying you start off as seed and you end as you get a little more mature, you become a vine and you're grafted in. And then you become a cedar, a tree. It's so simple. And I couldn't have had that unless I've done lots of study to pray to be worthy to teach you guys. I asked to be a teacher and I was ordained by God outside of my house on my birthday. The whole entire block turned purple as I watched the substance being poured on it. I don't know what it was. It was a purple hue. What is purple? And I'm not going to say I'm that. It's the lead priest. Okay, it's what they wore. And opened the mouth and said to that cedar, art thou not the cedar which was left in the forest of the wickedness? We are a light in the dark. We are left in a forest of nothing but wickedness around us. And I can tell you that right now. There's 2 or 3 people, so maybe 4 people amongst me of how many people I've been teaching. Okay. And we don't we're far away from each other, so I'm the only cedar in this darkness planted. You were that too. You were planted into the darkness to shine your light. And by what whose means wickedness persisted and was wrought with all those years, and goodness never, and thou didst keep conquering that which was not thine, and to that which was thine thou didst never show compassion, and thou didst keep extending the power over those who were far from thee, and those who drew nigh thee. What are we doing? We're drawing nigh. There wasn't many that did that. And always one that could be not be rooted out. But now thy time has speed, and thy hour is come. Do thou also therefore depart, O cedar, after the forest which departed before thee, and it became dust with it. From dust I come, from dust I go. So that cedar's planted in there. It's not gonna turn away from God because it has the seed of God in him. And he's there to teach in the wickedness that saves some people out of it, and then the rest goes to dust. From dust I come, from dust I go. So let your ashes be mingled together, and now recline the anguish and the rest of the torment till thy last time come, in which thou shalt come again and be tormented still more. So God keeps coming back, tormenting them more, trying to wake them up, and they don't wake up. That's what Revelation says. And they don't repent of their sin. So what does God do? He gives them more torment. He gives them more troubles, and then they finally go, I'm so tired. What do I do? They call out to the Lord. So when after these things I saw the cedar burning, and the vine growing itself, and all around it, but the plain full of unfading flowers, and I saw indeed awoke and arose. See, after all that, the evil being sent on, that's exactly what happens and says in the Bible. I send the evil on them, send the evil on them. Why? Because they did evil. If you do evil, you're not going to get good. I don't even have to explain that any further than that. So, the interpretation of the vision, and it talks about the vine that grows. Some trees are going to burn down too. There was one tree left in the whole forest. You got it. You got it right, Seven Thunders. That's what we're made to do. That's what we're here for God's glory and His will, not our own. That's why I say, don't sit there and keep praying for yourself over and over and over. Oh, I'm sick. Please, God, take it away from me. He hurt you once. God's not dummy. He's the most intelligent thing that ever was and ever will be and never will be like him. Not one is like him. Hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom thy come. We are royalty. God's children are royalty. Whether they went through the darkness or not, whether even as they were as a Christian, they had to have that stuff burnt off of them, purged through the fire, through the through the threshing floor, through the rod of iron. He rules us with a rod of iron. The iron furnace, the furnace of iron, the destroyer Shiva. That's part of what follows with him. Okay? That's what he uses to deliver us. The destroyer. Don't forget how I delivered the people out of Egypt, out of the iron furnace. That's how he works. So, what's happening on the earth is because of the destroyer. Everything. They're trying to make us look away and divert us. Ah, Cormac. Oh, I'm so glad to see you, man. My brother from Scotland, I love you, man, and I miss you. Look at the books that I got. Man, Cormac, I got books of Adam and Eve, the Jubilee, the Maccabees, the Jasher. I got them all, man, for us to learn from. So, and you missed. Do you just join us now? Okay, because this is going to be about a 3 hour show. The interpretation, the vision. I prayed and I said, "Oh Lord, yes, He will squeeze out the new grape in us and the vine, the grape from the vine. We are the grapes of the vine." So thou does always enlighten those who are led by understanding. So I'm led by understanding, and so are you guys. Thy law is life, and thy wisdom is right guidance. Make known to me, therefore, the interpretation of this vision, for thou knowest that my soul have always walked in the law, and from my earliest days I departed not from thy wisdom. The wisdom is put, everything is put in you before you're actually even born. But you unlock it with the Bible and these other books now. Like you'd be amazed. I did the Enoch teaching. Did you listen to any of those? The book of Adam and Eve, the book of Jasher, the Maccabees. I got all these books now, you guys. And I got an extra book of the Jasher. I can't send it to you. I already sent you a Bible, Cormac, and it takes forever to get there. And who knows if it's going to ever make it there now, right? So when he answered and he said unto me, Baruch, this is the interpretation of the vision which thou hast seen. As thou hast seen great forests, which lofty and rugged mountains surrounded, this is the word. Behold, the days come, and this kingdom shall be destroyed, which once destroyed Zion. Now it's going to destroy the whole earth. What's God stays the same. He uses the same thing yesterday, today, and tomorrow whatever, right? He never changes. Yeah, I did a teaching on it. So if you want, you can go back and you can read it. And as you're learning, you can go with me. That's good, buddy. You got to keep going, eh? And it shall be subjected to what cometh after. Moreover, so that also again after the time shall be destroyed, and another, a third, shall arise, and that also shall have dominion for its time, and shall be destroyed. This is the third. It's getting destroyed. God destroyed it 3 times. This is the final time. That's what that's talking about. And after these things, I saw the fourth kingdom shall arise, whose power shall be harsh and evil. Okay, so we're on that story. I I knew, but I didn't know. I needed to read further. So sometimes I have to. The harsh and the evil beyond those which before. That's talking of the kingdoms of in Daniel of Nebuchadnezzar's statue. I get it now. The head of gold, the bronze, and the clay, or the iron, and then the iron and clay. Sorry, the four kingdom. We're in the fourth one because harsh and evil. This is the fourth kingdom that's coming to an end soon. Sorry, I should have looked back at Daniel. Hey, Daniel says about that. The statue, the head, the gold was the first one. Okay. And then it all goes down to miry clay mixed with iron, which can't hold. This is this evil kingdom right here. And beyond those which are before, it shall rule many times as the forest on the plain. So, what is it ruling? Us. We're the forest. Cities. The cities of people. We're the forest. That's why it says it roots up many trees in the forest, and there was one cedar left. That goes to tell you how many Christians aren't going to make it because they're faking it. You can't fake it to make it. God sees through everything. And it shall hold fast the times, and shall exalt itself more than the cedars of Lebanon. It's Why is it talking about exalting itself more than the cedars? God said, every tree I did not plant will be hewn down. The cedars is you. Your tree. You're grafted into a branch. There's the 3 levels. You start as a seed, you go to the branch, you're grafted in, and you grow to a bush. Here's another way God says it: I give you a seed, a mustard seed of faith, the smallest seed of all, and it grows into one of the biggest bushes for your flock to come and sit on. Okay. So we have to determine what these things mean. But you can't know what these means unless you're of God. See, a person that is carnal minded and isn't of God will not have any understanding of any of these books because they'll try to read with their carnal mind, and you can't do that. And by the truth shall be hidden. Those cedars by truth shall be hidden. So when we're going through these things and we're failing and we're falling and stuff, he's hiding you because he knows you have to be, he knows that those sins have to be threshed out of you on the threshing floor. The grape has to be squeezed to have new wine. So when all that are polluted with iniquity shall flee to it, as evil beasts flee and creep into the forest. What are the evil beasts that flee and creep into the forest, even of us, into our churches? They, f- they. I watched a show. I walked downstairs to grab a chair out of my sister's room. They're ghost hunters, and they were in a church catching demons in a church. Hmm. Why? Because the teacher is not covering them or teaching them false teachings. Now, I taught. Me and Seven Thunders taught what wormwood really is. It's spiritual. It's not. It's a star, which is an angel that puts evil on people and makes them bitter inside. It's not something that's going to impact the earth. My phone is so it's. I need to. Iniquity shall flee as evil beasts flee and creep into our forest. It shall come to pass when the time of his consumption that he should fall. Why? Because he fell by the seed that fell by the wayside. Some of them are taken up by the birds of the air, the evil birds of the air, Satan. Some of them are swallowed up by thorns, Satan, and they couldn't handle it. So they should fall, have been approached. Prin- Principate of my Messiah shall be revealed, which is like the fountain and the vine. Isn't that what I said? Jesus is the fountain that gives us the water of life so we never thirst again. And we are the vine being fed by the rivers, not literal rivers, spiritual rivers of Jesus Christ. When he says, I give you water and you never thirst again. Flowing waters, clean waters. He doesn't give us dirty waters. That's the spirit that's filling us. That's why we have to do these things so that our spirit keeps full. Jesus says, I get your mansion has many rooms in it. What are you going to fill them full? Dirty water or his water? Spiritual water. That's exactly what I was teaching before this even said it. God looks out to his word to perform it. It's not me performing it. It's not my word. So it is revealed it shall root out a multitude of his hosts. His water is rooting us up, hallowing us. Hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done here as it is in heaven. The destroyer releases what's done here from the people that haven't repented back on them. That's the evil bird, the bird that plucks the seed up. Living waters in us. That's right. The living waters is the river, not wormwood impacting the rivers. That's unreal. Not many churches are teaching what I'm doing at all. Okay? Only me and Mike kind of teach that. And I'm not going by Mike. I'm going by the word that God's giving me. And it's turning out to match up with Mike from around the world. Okay. I'm not putting him above this. No way above any of these books that I have. Okay. Because if you have understanding, you will learn. If you are God's children, he will give you understanding, wisdom, and knowledge. And as touching that, thou hast seen the lofty cedar, that's us, which was left of the forest. Like Enoch says, same thing as Enoch says, the word of the blessing of Enoch, where he blessed the elect, the righteous, who will be living today in tribulations, when the wicked and godless are to be removed. That's the tree. Okay. Some of the trees, very little of the trees are going to be left because the wicked in them. Those are the fake Christians, the sheep that get trampled, which Enoch talks about in Enoch. Those are the ones that say, Lord, Lord, and he says, get away from me. I never knew you. He who work lawlessness and iniquity in your flesh and in your soul. We keep our commandments in here to the best bet until we can overcome here through Jesus Christ's strength, not yours. So when it talks about the forest, it talks about the people, and we're the trees in the forest, and many of them are getting plucked up, and most of them will be destroyed. And in the fact that the vine spoke those words, how does a vine speak words? It's not the vine. It's the first maturity level you go to when you're grafted in. When the vine spoke those words, in which thou didst hear, this is the word: the last leader of thine shall be left alive, when the multitude of his hosts shall be put to the sword, and shall he be bound, and they shall take him up to Mount Zion. My Messiah, Jesus Christ, shall convict him of all his impurities. Isn't that what I teach? If you're not being convicted, how are you going to fix it? The threshing floor, purging through the fire. Evil that we created gets put back on us slowly, because you have to reap what you sow. If not, God's a liar. And it's a process, and everybody's process is different. When you hear a Christian, oh, you can come in and you can't sin at all as a Christian, you're going to sin, buddy, for saying that. I'm telling you right now. I've tried to promise God I won't sin again. Huh? Yeah, right. This flesh wars against your spirit. You are going to sin until the very last day. Last and last and last and last. And I'm a witness to that. So you can go impurities, and it shall gather and set before him the works of his hosts. Us. We're all working together to help all of our impurities with Jesus. He does it, but all we do is water it. Okay. You can't give the increasement. You can water someone, only God and Jesus. Jesus can give you increasement. He is the author and the finisher of your faith. That's what he increases you in. God gives you the increasement in everything else. Then I can only discern this Bible because of the Spirit, right? This is a part of the Bible. I have them all now. We're getting ready to go into a higher level, all of us, because it's time we stop sticking down at the bottom ones who are or casting me asunder for my teachings. Go ahead. You're just doing that to Jesus. Okay. He gives me the teachings. I have the teachings of the destroyer. If you don't believe in it and you're not fighting against me. So why should I get mad at you? I'm not doing that anymore. I'm just erasing your guys's, not you guys's, not anybody in here now. Anybody that wants to talk against me on YouTube, on my teachings, you're talking against Jesus, I'm going to blot you out of that conversation. I'm not going to turn my back on you. I'm just going to erase your baloney stuff you said to me. God doesn't give me this stuff to teach fake stuff, okay? And afterwards he shall put them to death, and protect the rest of my people, which shall be found in the place which I have chosen, in my barn. So even when you're being purged and sinning, like I don't advocate for sin, but it happened to me. I should be in his barn. And yet he still blessed me when I sinned as a Christian. I did some awful things as a Christian, guys. It's to purge out the darkness. He has to root it up. When he says rooting your darkness up, hallowing you is what God calls it. Hallowed be thy name. They used to call God fate and hallow, because he was the author and the finisher of their fate. Now Jesus is. He put him in control. Yes, his mercy and his grace. Soon that door will close. Well, there'll be no mercy and grace. Any fake teachers, if they're teaching in that time, they will be destroyed. Someone said, "You said everybody with rapture is going to die." No, I never said that. But the Bible talks many of the fake teachers will be destroyed. I didn't say every single one of them. This guy's been still going on about it. Changed his name and now he's cursed. I know exactly who he is. Okay. I even put on, he was answering me yesterday. I do believe he finally left my channel. You know what is more of a relief than anything, because all he was causing a thorn in my side. Well, you lied, yet he's smoking weed, man. Who lied? I never lied. I said many of these false teachers will be destroyed. So does the book of Enoch. So does this book. So does the Bible say that. So I didn't lie. He's going, I was right there with you. And I was like, yeah, I know who you are, brother. I named him. Not here, because I'm not to do that. Right? Yeah. And that door is being shut. And when that door is shut, you can't go, oh, hey, Jesus, I see you now. I believe you now. It'll be too late. We're here to do it in this flesh. If you can't do it in this flesh, you're not going to do it after. People don't get that. You can't call out on his name when you've been turned into darkness. What's the destroyer going to do? It's going to bring the whole truth to the light of the truth. You get it? We're going to be turned into light. They're going to be turned into dark. God's going to save some people that haven't come home yet so that we can teach them in that 1,000-year reign. It's going to be like picking flies, because you're going to come to them in your new glorified resurrected body, and they're going to wait for your light to come and teach them and their grandchildren and their great grandchildren, because there'll be 1,000 years of it. We will be kings and priests and pastors. We will be kings here. Understand? These kings will be all removed because they're wicked and godless. They are to be removed, not us. No rapture. Do you know there's about 5 things in here that already said no rapture. There's about 90 in Enoch that says no rapture. And there's about 100 in the Bible that says no rapture. Holy smokes. That is an evil teaching. We are to be here. Only when God's wrath poured up, we will be in the wedding supper of the Lamb in the clouds. Jesus ain't coming back 3 times. He ain't coming back to rapture you and then come back again with the saints. It's not 10,000s of the saints, it's much more. 10,000s and thousands, okay? People go, oh, just the 10,000 saints. That's all? We are we are innumerable amount of people that are in heaven, okay? Yes, that's what God uses it for. He's used it for it 4 times before. He delivers us. And if you're got the evil, as too much evil is in you, you're going to be turned to that darkness. And if you got enough light in you, in your heart of hearts, in your soul, if you got enough light in you, you're going to turn to that King of King. You're going to turn to a king, a preacher, a real true preacher of God, a real true angel of God. We will be like unto Jesus, but we just don't know yet. That's coming soon. I say in the next 2 years, maybe quicker. This could be that fire summer, a fire of fires. When that happens, the destroyer will be here. The darkness will become from underneath. It's already being released. It gets released from these volcanoes. And that stopped in Palma is a big hole in the earth. It's widening it. Hell is widening itself. Okay. It's like a zit. You pop a zit and out comes that evil. Same sort of thing. I watched the one a few in Kilauea. I was seeing they were showing there was a guy showing demons coming up. See, God implements all this stuff slowly, and then eventually he's just going to release it all. Okay? He's doing it slowly for us while we're being put in his barn and while we're washing our coats in the blood of the lamb after great tribulation is when it's finished. We'll be up there already. Hopefully, pray that you're worthy to escape all these things, right? Yes, you got it. You're born in the darkness. You're born in a demon, kind of, because of your generational curses in the flesh. There's no generational curse in here. It's in your DNA, and your flesh is already corrupt. I hate when people start teaching that, oh, you need to try to save your flesh. No, you don't. Your flesh is going to be corrupt until the very last day, where that's why God says on the last day, I raise you up. I raise you up. Not this. This ain't raising nowhere. This is going to burn. The wages of sin is death. So the destiny of the apostles and the proselytes. And I answered and I said, to whom for many shall these be, or for will worthy to live at the time? For I will speak before thee everything that I think, and I will ask of thee regarding of those things which I meditate. Meditate on the Bible day and night. Meditate on the Lord's word day and night. For lo, I see many of thy people who have withdrawn from thy covenant. Huh? The ones that said they were Christians, the great falling away, which we're living in right now. They say they are, but are they? Yeah, the wages of sin is death. This will die because of what we did, just like Adam and Eve and everyone before in the antediluvian world. Was before Adam and Eve, there was people that lived here, and there was darkness on the face of the deep. People don't understand Genesis 1 when he says there's darkness on the face of man in the deep, in his heart. So many will withdraw from the covenant and cast from them the yoke of thy law. So our yoke is to be evenly yoked with Christians. I'm watching some out of my channel destroy themselves, and I feel bad for them. And I pray for them, and they leave my channel because they're destroying themselves. They don't want to hear the true word of God. They want to fight against me. This is the destroyer. The one guy showed me a picture of the sky. That's the destroyer, and I'm going, what? Where's the destroyer? All I see is a picture of a sky. And he was showing me that the bitterness in people. That's wormwood. That's not the. He was showing me everything else as he's attacking me and smoking weed. Go back to your smoking weed. I pray that you don't. Yes. And so what he does is he circumcises your heart first. Now he's got to change this. If he put the Holy Spirit fully in anybody when all he's done is circumcise this is going to cause you to sin again. And therefore, one little tiny lie with the Holy Spirit is called blaspheming the Holy Spirit. You cannot blaspheme the Holy Spirit unless you've been given over to full light, like the angels were. When this eyes and this eyes become a full light, you become a full light. You cannot sin again because you will never go back. Ask the fallen angels. They cried and they cried and they cried for God to take them back. And he never did because they were to the full light. We aren't yet. We're still in this body, concluding not one of us is without sin. Not one of us is righteous. Through God's eyes, on our best day, we're still as filthy rags. Come on, man. If you hear a Christian say, I don't sin, I would get the heck out of there. Okay. I've given you guys the tools. You guys should have the tools. You guys should be able to discern who a fake teacher is instantly. Planet X! That's the first thing to tell you. Well, rapture. And you know what? The funny thing is this one guy, Pastor Paul, and I'm allowed to do it, by the way, and I'm not going up against him, but his teachings are of the Pharisees. He said, "Oh, don't be a lazy Christian because rapture makes you lazy. Don't, sit and wait for it. Next week, the rapture of the church, the rapture of the church." Oh my goodness. Hypocritical. Don't use replacement theory. Well, he's doing it over and over and over and over. You were to tell people, especially in your congregation, do not listen to Pastor Paul. I've got so much dirt on him, guys, and I'm sure if you go in and try and listen, and you will be told to get out of that room. Why? This is the only problem I really have with Mike, and it's not a problem. He glorifies Pastor Paul. We're not to do that about the fake teaching, okay? We're not to. It talks about that in the Bible. We are to reapproach it if your heart is right. I don't want to see Pastor Paul go to hell, okay? I just want to see these people that are in there that are so misled. I seen what they were saying, and none of it was even close to the truth. And that's what hurt me, not the false teaching, because it's everywhere. There's many churches that teach what he does. I need a drink, okay, guys? So give me a second here. So I'm on 6 in here. Okay, give me a second. You guys need a drink? Get a drink. Go to the washroom. Okay, so a lot of the times what I do is oh no, my glasses. I line up things within these books within the Bible, okay? Because people always say that these books aren't of the Bible and they were taken out by God. No, they weren't. They were taken out. Well, they were because God didn't. He told Daniel to shut this books up for the time, the extra books, because they're extracurricular. They add more light to you, they add more truth to you, and they confirm what each book says. I can go through probably all of them. I can't wait to get into the book of Adam and Eve. It's mind blowing. That's after Baroque. Okay. So I'm almost half done Baroque, right? Some of the books are small, right? Okay, so 6. Or perhaps at the time of these shall assuredly be weighed the balances scale. So the balancing scales are us right now. We're being balanced out. So when you start off, you're born into darkness, you're full of darkness. You come to the marvelous light. Weighed out the balancing scales has nothing to do with money. A measure of wheat for a penny has nothing to do for money. It's the measure that we're giving. So we give more measure, we get more back. We don't give enough, it's going to be taken away. That's what that is. And there was a wrong teaching about that through Mike from around the world. He said that's the money system. No, that's not. To wait, and as the beam inclineth, shall they be judged accordingly. I don't subscribe to that. Okay, I'm not going against Mike. And man, not all teaching's perfect, but you got to remember, I'm one of his predecessors. I've been listening to him for almost 7 years. You will be greater than me. You guys will be greater than me because you'll take my information, Mike's information, God's information, and it'll all be put better that you'll have more than me. You'll be greater than me. We pass our baton to you guys. I am not greater than you. I am less than you. Okay. And that'll come out in time. Not to challenge people, go, oh, now I know more than you. I'm not challenging Mike on that. I'm just saying a measure of wheat for a penny. What you give in, a measure that you give in, it teaches that in the Bible, is what you get out. And it doubles. The one guy hid his coin, he buried it into the ground, and he didn't have any more when he grabbed it out of the ground. It was still a penny. But the people that were giving out the cash, their money, their cash, their gold, their treasure from heaven, they were giving out their treasure from heaven because they kept doing that. It kept increasing. God gives you the increasement. Jesus gives you the increasement in faith. You see how it works? So the more you're watching your brother's back and trying to teach people, the more he's watching your back, the more wisdom and knowledge you're seeking his face, the more he's giving you the measure. And as he answered and said unto me, the Apocalypse of Baroque, these things also I will show unto thee. As for what thou didst say, to whom shall these things be, and how many shall they be? To whose has believed there shall be a good which was spoken of aforetime, and those who despise there shall be contrary of the things. See, I taught this earlier. They despise of the wisdom and knowledge that God's given me, so they're going to go contrary. They're going to go against you. And that happens when you're a teacher. They think they get greater and then they start doing that and they're actually getting less because they're going contrary. And contrary to these things. And now for what thou didst say regarding those who have drawn near and those who have withdrawn. I just said that. So this guy's withdrawn. Then he tried to come back with a different name and he called me a liar. By the way, how come you keep renaming yourself? Isn't that lying to who you really are? My name is Rod Page. I don't lie of my name. I don't change it, right? The seven seals are planets. No, they're not. Sorry, Melody. They're not planets. They're spiritual seals. There's no such thing as planets. It only says one time in the Bible planets. But these are things that are inhabited by evil and good. The seven seals are not planets, Melody. Where did you get that? No. The seven seals are spiritual things that are let loose onto the earth. I'm not in that teaching right now. I'm in Baroque. And that's my sister. And I'm not going up against her. That's my only real true sister. Some people don't know the truth of things. Sister, I have a seven seal teaching. You can go back to that. Okay. So we're getting ready. So the seventh seal that's going to open, the six is getting ready to close from all the things that are falling down. Hide us in the clefts of the rock from who sits on the throne. That's the destroyer. Destroyer isn't a planet. It's a spiritual thing that God holds against us, right? No, they're not. Where are you getting your stuff from, Mel? Wow. Even my sister, what are you listening to? You know what? God gives us the decoding. Any decoding, I don't read decoding. Those are lies. God will decode for you. Oh, well, whoever this guy that said that is. Well, that's wrong, Mel. Only it says planets once in the Bible. All these other books say they're not planets. It's not Planet X, it's the destroyer. They're not planets. Why do you think Peter said I'm Venus? Huh, they're angels and the luminaries up in heaven, not planets. That's what NASA calls them. NASA is never a straight answer. A logo of a snake of the demons. That's all stuff you've been told. I don't work with planets. To me, there's no planets. I got all the books and they all say it, Mel. I got lots more now. I got the Jasher, Maccabees, Baruch. They don't speak of planets. Maccabees, the book of Jasher, the book of Adam and Eve, the book of Enoch. No planets, a luminary. This is the first book ever written, ever, in this whole entire earth. Because the falling angels gave him. So don't listen to them. Whoever's printing this stuff to you, Melody, don't listen to them. Just because they're in my room doesn't mean they're always correct. And it doesn't mean I'm 100% correct. But these books say there's no such thing as planets. Joshua, or Jubilees, sorry. Jubilees. Joshua. Bible. Yeah, I know. And so you got to be careful, even what you listen to on some of the people in my chat room, because they're trying to go up against me right now, Mel. Okay. The book of Adam and Eve. Wait till you hear that one, Mel. That's awesome. And I'm not going against you. You're my dang sister. I just want to teach you right. Now, if someone in my chat room saying that, this someone is against me. Okay. And is against all these books. It doesn't explain planets in any of them. Only once in the Bible it says planets, but it's just referring to there's something on that planet. You can't live in space. There's darkness and in light. The luminaries of light and the luminaries of darkness, they're not luminaries, but the dark ones. They live on some of these things. Okay. Sorry, I'm not trying. Hey man, you're my sister. You're my full sister. I'm trying to teach you right. That's why I always tell you, watch who you listen to. And especially on my thing, because they're going up against me right now really bad because I'm walking in obedience, right? And they don't like when you're walking. Satan doesn't like when you're walking in obedience, and he uses people that aren't. And I'll tell you right now, there's a guy in my room that said I'm a liar as he's smoking weed, and he's changing his name to come back on. He's hiding his identity. Why? He's saying I'm a liar, yet he's a liar. That doesn't even make sense, right? That's why when you say, so is that his name? Revelation, Signs, and Wonders? Yeah, well, he's wrong on that. All these books don't say planet. They say the evil darkness that's going to fall on us. It's going to rain on us. The evil is going to reign on us. There's three heavens. The one above us is Satan's because the whole world lies in the hands of the wicked one. The second heaven is the Gulf. There's Sheol, and then there's paradise. And the dead that are good in Jesus are on paradise, and the evil are in Sheol. And then the third heaven is where God sits on his throne. But he's not on his throne all the time because he's omnipresent. Omnipresent means everywhere at one time. Yeah, there's seven. Yeah, but they're not planets, okay? Okay, so maybe he's a little bit right. They are the luminaries, angels cast them on us. So a little bit he's right, but he's replacement theory with planets, okay? So he's a little bit right. No, there's three heavens. So the one above us is Satan's heaven because he's running this earth right now. And that's why Gabriel had to fight through the evil angels to get to one of his servants to help him. Sometimes when you find yourself in tribulation and you're praying and you're praying and you're praying, it takes some time before you get your answer and your angel comes down and helps you. We all have angels. One of your angels is your angel, by the way. Because remember, Jesus said on the cross, it's finished. And Jesus said, I go to my right hand and I build you a place. That's you. He's building you your new wine that cannot go into old bottles. So the heavens are three. There's not they talk about there's many galaxies and many universes. I don't subscribe to that at all. We're in the center of the universe and everything is going around us. And these books explain that. And so does the Bible. We are stable and cannot be moved. How is it possible we're kicked out of our spot if we're constantly moving? Because we're never in a spot, then, right? So that's speaking against the Bible. Okay. I don't subscribe to that. We are stable and cannot be moved. Now, the people are getting established and cannot be moved. That's us. So it's talking physical and spiritual. Okay. And the seven seals. Who will open the seven seals? Who is worthy to open the seven seals? Jesus Christ is. He's not opening seven planets. Okay. That's not what that means. And I'm just correcting you because you're my sister. I'm not trying to attack you at all. We have to watch who we listen to. Okay. Some people don't have the full understanding, and I'm not going against him. He's kind of right, but it's replacing with planets of the seven spirits that open, that do these things on this earth. Yeah, I've never heard that one, so it's okay. I'm not against it. And as for what did it say regarding those two who have drawn near and those who have withdrawn? So I have many people that are drawing near, but I have people that leave my channel because they can't handle the truth. Then they do, then they all you can do is pray for them, right? That is the word. As for those who were before subject and afterwards withdrew and mingled themselves with the seed of mingled people. So what is see that seed going into the apple bum there? Take that away, and that's a demon face, and that looks like a seed going into a bum. Mingled the seed with God's seed. Straight out in the Bible. That's what the fallen angels did. They took themselves women and they slept with them literally. People say, no, it was just put in by the Spirit. No, it wasn't. There's only one child born by with the Spirit. Well, we all are, so it's kind of right. But we're put into our mom's belly. Mary didn't have sex. So that's the only child that was born without having sex. Cain was born from the wicked one. from Satan, from doing the sexual act with Eve. I can't even explain that to people because they don't understand it and they cast me asunder for that teaching. A lot of people don't realize you mingle the seed, you had sex. You were born from what? Someone having sex. There was only one child that wasn't, and that's the Virgin Mary. Because God can do the unthinkable. So simple. That's why God impregnated Mary with the Spirit. That's the only time that ever happened. Except for Adam before he fell. Because before Adam fell, God knew he was going to fall, and he made this earth for the people before that. Because the children of light lived here, and they became dark. There was darkness on the face of the deep. At the beginning of the Bible, there's so much more to explain about that, but some people don't believe in that stuff. So I don't like to get into the grunt because that's not your salvation. Okay. When you mingle the seed, you're having sex to do that. Okay. Oh no, God came down and put the seed in every. No, he didn't. My father had sex with my mother, and he get put in what's called the spark of life into my mother. That just did the act for the flesh. He puts in the soul. Okay, so that's the part that God does in everybody. But doesn't there have to be an act for this flesh? And it's an act that God doesn't like, but his children have to come through that way. That's why when you're an angel, you're not going to have male or female parts. Didn't you know that you're neither male or female in heaven? People don't understand the mingling of seed, what it actually means. Okay. So one of God's children can have a black bull. That's evil, like Enoch explains. White bull. What's white? What's black? White is good, the light, and black is dark. Through their sexual act, they're all that's put on here is their body. God injects whether it's an evil soul or a good soul. Every tree I haven't planted will be hewn down. It's simple. So that's why I have to stop on that because people don't understand that. I heard someone tell me that, well, it's done spiritually. Yes, it is, but it's also done physically. The only case that was known was the Virgin Mary. She was still a virgin right after she gave birth. And you know who gave birth to her baby? God did. In one of these books, it's going to explain that. When the angels were singing and they could hear it, God stopped time for Joseph to look for a maidservant. By the time he came back, he heard these angels singing and there was light coming out of there. Time was stopped. Donkeys were drinking water and stopped. And he came back and he saw a spirit birthing Jesus Christ. And then he soared up. Why do you think Virgin Mary was always called Virgin Mary? She had one child, and that was Jesus Christ. Joseph was watching over her. They never had sex. Joseph acted like they were husband and wife so that no one would de-virginize Virgin Mary. She was a virgin from the time she was born until the time she would die. That's why she was Virgin Mary. Okay? A lot of people don't understand this stuff. And I don't like to get too deep into it, but that's what we're into. Some of the deep truth now. So, as for those that were subject afterwards withdrew and mingled themselves with the seed and mingled peoples. What is our flesh? Peoples. They interjected their seed into the peoples. That's the only way people get born. Now, God puts that spirit in there. Okay. He's the one decides. He gives even the evil a chance again. And he puts everybody has a second chance. You were one of the fallen, and maybe you weren't, but you were put here for a reason. I can't explain all of that. There's not everything that I know. So that's as far as I go. This time of these this time of these was the former and accounted as something exalted. As for those who before knew not, but afterward knew life, and mingled only the seed of the people, mingled only the seed of the people, which had separated itself the time of these, the latter, and is accounted as something exalted, and it shall be succeed to the time of the season to season, and shall receive from another, and with the view of the consumption shall everything be compared according to the measure of times and the hour of the season, which we were in right now. For corruption shall take those that belong to it. So the book of Enoch, the Bible, and all these books says, for the corruption shall take those who belong to it. Satan will take those seeds of his. So if you can't learn of God and the things of God, and you don't understand them, and you never will, and and you're just doing all evil and iniquity, evil's going to take you because you build that evil. The destroyer. It's not a planet. It's a spiritual orb that comes in and releases all the evil on the people that God says, I recompense on your recompense. On your evils that you've done, you've made your own bed. You've made your own demon. You've made your own darkness because darkness has taken you over. Belong to it, and life that belong to it, and the dust shall be called, and there shall be said to it, give back that which is not thine, and raise up thou, then keep it until the time. So give back that which is thine. You belong to the world. The world, if you love the world, you have enmity with God. You will stay to the world, which is Satan. Okay. Baruch is told of his death. Ah, I was told of mine. I'm not going to even go there anymore. I already told everybody else. God tells some of his people how they're going to die. This is his word to look out to perform it. I've told people how I'm going to die. I'm sure the ones that are in this room know that. So, but do, Baruch, directly thy heart for that which hath been said to thee, and understand those things which have been shown to thee. For there are many eternal consolations for thee, for thou shalt depart from this place. So the consolations are the Bible, many eternal consolations. So the Big Dipper, it looks like an open gate. That's where all the sheep has been let out of. I don't know how to explain it all. That's not my teaching. But if you go onto YouTube, it's quite interesting in learning that the consolations are the Bible. Who is Orion with the sword? Who is the lion? Who is Virgo? Virgin Mary. That's how he taught it. He used to teach the Bible out of the consolations. So go to the teachings to the Bible and the consolations on YouTube. It's quite interesting when you listen to it. I don't know how to teach it all, but I have a little bit of it. So consolations for thee. So, for thou shalt depart from this place, and thou shalt pass from the regions which are now seen by thee, and thou shalt forget whatsoever is corruptible. So, God will forget what at the end, and if you ask for repentance, He forgets it. He throws it into the lake of forgetfulness for you not to mention it again. If you keep mentioning, oh, sorry, God, I did that. Oh, sorry, God, I did that. It's not going to leave you. You're still bound up by it because you're not believing when you ask him for forgiveness that he's going to throw it in the lake of forgetfulness. You have to believe that, or else you're going to be stuck with that chain still on you because you're claiming the chain because you don't think God's going to take it off of you. Jesus is the great deliverer. He will take that off you. So if you pray for that, believe in that. And I'm telling you, it'll come off of you. So give me a sec, guys. I got to stand up here. So when thou shalt forget whatever is corruptible, and shall not again recall those things which happen among mortals. I just said that. Now I didn't know that was coming. He looks out for his word to perform it. Man, he does it to me over and over and over on my show. I said this before I read it, and it shall not again recall those things which happen amongst us. When you ask for repentance, remember I just said it. He shall not recall those things. So why are you recalling them? So through all these books, after I say something, God looks out to his word to perform it. Okay? It's not me. So the Apocalypse of Baroque. Go therefore and command thy people and come to this place and afterwards fast 7 days, and then I will come to thee and speak with thee. So we don't tell people when we fast. We just fast for God. 7 days is the amount of time that he requires. I can only get to 5. So maybe my next one will be 7. I felt guilty when I was at 5 and I ate. Okay? And I didn't want to eat because as soon as you start consuming food, then you start consuming it, literally. So we're going to do this last page, Baruch's words to the people. And then we're going to do our communion. We're going to take our communion, right? So grape juice is needed, sister, if you're there. I hate reproaching my sister because sometimes she thinks I'm doing it out of wrong, but she knows now that I'm not. Okay. I don't do to reproach someone and teach them the proper way for any glory, for hating against their I know more than you baloney. That's baloney. I don't like to do that. Okay. What I'm trying to say is I don't subscribe to the teaching of some people. Doesn't mean that they're better or less than me. If God gives you what he gives you, use that. And the more you seek, the more you get. So the more you have to use, the more is required. The more knowledge, more is required of you. He wants us to grow and get more knowledge and wisdom. But the more he gives you, the more is required for you to give out. That's how it works. And that's a measure too. You give him more measure, he gives you more. He expects more, but he doesn't really expect it out of us. But that's what he hopes for, that we give more so that he can give us more and he can give us more truth, more understanding, and more wisdom as we're seeking that. We're seeking his face. You're seeking the truth, the love of God, okay, and the way, right? We don't all have the way. I don't have the way to heaven. All I have is a way to help to water your tree, to help it grow. But I don't give the increasement or decreasement. God gives that. And Jesus gives the increasement or decreasement in faith. He is the author and the finisher of your faith. So let's get into this and then we have to do that. And I, Baruch, went from thence and came to the people, and I called my firstborn son and the Gedaliah, my friend, and the 7 of the elders of the people, and I said unto them, Behold, I go unto my fathers according to the way of the earth. But but withdraw ye not from my way of the law. So what he's saying is, according to, behold, I go unto my fathers according to the way of all the earth. But withdraw ye not from my law, from the commandments, the ordinance, and the statutes of God and Jesus. Okay, but in your heart of hearts, right? So, but guard and admonish the people which remain, lest they withdraw from the commandments of the mighty one, which is the laws of God. And many people are withdrawing away from that. A lot of it is to do with pride. I know more than you. I got the answers you don't. Okay, good luck with that, you know? And they give these stupid teachings like the 7 planets are the 7 seals, the 7 spirits that are released. And our creator is no respecters of persons, no respecters of your flesh. From thus I come, from thus I go. He will destroy this flesh no matter what. But not your wine, not your heart of hearts, not your spirit and your soul. You, the real you, not this image. This is the image inside of you, of God, not this. This is the image of man, number of the beast. This is a beast, which is the number of a man. Number of the beast was never taught right. I've never heard it the way I teach it, okay? You're numbered from the get go, okay? If you're God's children, you are marked of God. You are God's seed. If you are Satan's children, you are Satan's children. That's just it. The seed. And you see what have befallen Zion and what have happened to Jerusalem, for the judgment of the mighty one shall thereby be made known, and his ways which thou pass finding out are right. So he's judging us too. We're the judgment comes to the house of the Lord first. So he judges us to not condemn us, but to make us feel guilty and to purge us through the purging floor. So he judges us for. My words are turning red again. Why does that happen? Because the Spirit's helping me out here, guys. Not doing all this discernment by myself. I can't discern what 10 plus or 10 times 275 is. I can't discern the things of this earth. I'm not good at it. So his ways which through the past finding out are right. So us going through this purging floor, us being judged by God, is is making us feel like, you know, I don't want to be judged by God and Jesus. It hurts. So I want to do everything to walk in the righteousness and have the joy that I have. I don't want to let loose of it anymore. I've let loose of it enough to know it pains me in here and here when I'm not walking in the law and the ordinance of Jesus Christ, the statutes, the law, the commandment. For you and for if ye endure, preserve in his fear, and do not forget his law. We have to endure all of this pains, sufferings, afflictions, demons. We have to endure it all. Them who aren't worthy to endure until the end, they won't make it. They will be the seed by the wayside taken up. Well, it's just easier to do this way. Okay? And shall at the times shall change over you for good. What I just said. Over the times of being purged through the threshing floor is changing you. Ye shall see the consolation of Zion. because whatsoever is now nothing, but that which shall be is very great. For everything that is corruptible shall pass away. Takes the evil. Everything that's corruptible in you will pass away, but that's a due process. Over the process of being whipped a few times, maybe up. Why does a righteous man fall 7 times and still get up, but an unrighteous man can only do it once? Because you're the child of God. You're not going to give up. The children of God endure. That's giving up. If you don't endure, you're giving up. So everything that dieth shall depart, and all the present time shall be forgotten. For shall there be any remembrance of the present time, which is defiled with evils? No, there won't be. For that's which runneth now runneth unto vanity, and that which prospereth shall quickly fall and be humiliated. They're going to get humiliated when their darkness is shown to the whole world. They're going to be in humiliation. What are you going to be in? You're not going to be in humiliation. You're going to be in the great light. There's no humiliation in that. So let's do our communion now. I'm halfway through Baroque, right? Then Adam and Eve is next. The book of Adam and Eve, eh? So go grab your grape juice. I'm going to go grab mine. I have to bend this book back because anyways, I'll put it under here to flatten it. Yeah, he's balancing. He's searching out. That's why it's called they called him, and hallowed be thy name, because he's hallowing us out. He's searching into the depths of our heart of what's wrong, and then he's showing us it, and it's not nice when he shows us it. Okay, and you look at it and you go, wow, and you see the light of it and you start to try to change it. Does it mean it's going to go away one time? No, it doesn't. That's why it says a righteous man will sin 7 times in each of your sins, by the way. That's why he's long suffering forever in eternity, and his mercy for his children is everlasting. And you got that right. He's hollowing us out. Hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation. We're asking God not to lead us into temptation. How do we do that? Let's keep seeking him. Okay? You're still going to be led into temptation. He's trying you. Each time you go into that temptation, he's leading you. He goes, wow, he said no this time. I'm going to increase him. Sometimes it's 7 times. He goes, I'm going to increase him now. And now he's not going to do that sin anymore. That's happened with me over and over and over and over and over again. So that's how I know that, because I went through it. Right? So go grab your juice. We're going to take that, right? We'll see if I'm on the rest sometime later on today, right? Because I got a lot of books. This one's a big one. Let's just read something out of it. Ooh, the words are so tiny though. I'm going to read. Okay, go grab your grape juice. I'm going to do that now. to come out and make us some breakfast or something. Oh, where's my shooter glass? So you guys got your grape juice? Where the heck is my shooter glass gone? Oh, there it is. No, in these books. Yeah, and I didn't go for that. I just wanted the books, right? So I don't know if they have the large print in every one of them or anything like that, and that really doesn't matter as long as I got the books, right? So I have a large print Bible, and sometimes I have to wear my glasses because I'm doing so much. I looked on YouTube today to see what's going on to watching the world, right? That's what we do, right? So let's do communion. And whoever joined now, you could probably go back and see my phone is so hacked it's not even funny right now. I can't even get rid of some of the stuff that's on there. Turn off the spam now. Anyways, I'm gonna do that after. Let's get into this. Let's keep on the subject here. Communion in KJV Matthew. Okay, so get your crackers and your juice ready, guys. So, and as they were eating, Jesus took the bread and he blessed it and he broke it and he gave it to the disciples and he said, "Take, eat, this is my body." As I'm doing that, man, you're really a blessing in this room, all of you guys. See, I don't mind being challenged. Like, Seven Thunders challenged me a tiny, tiny bit today. And we worked it out. She didn't challenge me. She was asking questions. Sorry, Seven Thunders. You didn't challenge me. You just kind of didn't understand it fully. And alpha two of the scripture I gave, you understood. That's how God's people work it out, right? They don't go, "Oh, you're a liar, you're this and you're that." That's not what God's people do. "Oh, you're teaching on the destroyer is wrong." No, it's not. Okay, I'm going to talk a little bit after, but we're doing this, right? Sorry, I shouldn't have babbled, eh? And my wife is so beautiful this morning, so nice, eh? It's okay that you're teaching, right? Okay, so when he took the cup and he gave thanks and he gave it to them, saying, "Drink ye of it, for this is my blood of the New Testament, which is shed many for the remissions of our sins." Okay, and I'm not adding to it or taking away from it. It's not a prayer. It's giving homage, thanks to what he's done for us. So many people have it wrong. They start adding prayers in, adding in. You're not to add into it. Okay. That's what the evil people do. I know somebody that does it. Not saying she's evil. She's trying as hard as she can. Okay. But she doesn't have a guidance of any source. We all need some guidance, right? That's why God says, "I send you a messenger and he will lead the way. He will guide the way." That's all I'm here for. Yeah, I have a large print Bible and the words are still barely bigger than medium. They're medium. That's why I got this Bible. Super. Super print, giant print. You can get these books, I'm telling you right now, for 15 bucks. I'm telling you where you can get them in case you want to get one of your own. You can go to bookoutlet.com. Just say bookoutlet.com and it'll take you right to there. And you can get this book for $15, man. This book in a bookstore is $70 and they don't sell the KJV large. It's hard to find KJV Bibles, let alone super giant print in a bookstore. I've searched and searched and searched. The only places you can find them is online. And if you can find it in a bookstore, then you're lucky, right? I'm not saying every bookstore doesn't have it. Okay. So the challenging of people, it's not to challenge people, it's to question. Maybe I don't understand this. Can you make it a little more clear for me? Nicely, instead of saying you're a liar and your teaching wasn't good enough on the destroyer yesterday and challenging me, the seven planets is the seven. My sister didn't do that. Okay. She was just reading what someone was saying. Everybody in my channel doesn't say it could be the seven heavens, but I believe there's three. I don't know how many heavens there really are. Okay. So I know it talks about the one that's above us, uh, Sheol and the Gulf and Paradise, and the third heaven. That's what I believe in. Could it be wrong? Yes, it could. I don't know. I haven't been up there yet, right? Man, the junk on my phone. So, God bless you guys, and we'll see you probably, let's say, 6 or 7 o'clock tonight. Okay, Mountain Time. God bless you guys. Thank you for coming to church this morning. And Jesus will keep you. Keep him. He'll keep you.